Welcome back, everybody. My name is Tim. This is another Real Ideal Gear review, and today we're looking at a flashlight. We're looking at the Lumintop Tool AA 2.0. Great everyday carry flashlight. I really like this flashlight a lot. Very simple. If you're going to get an everyday carry flashlight, it needs to just simply work, and it needs to illuminate, and it can't be real complicated. There's a lot of user interfaces out there for other EDC flashlights that are just, when you open up the manual, it's like several pages long, and I'm not exaggerating. Like, it's very complicated. And granted, once you program something like that in, you're good to go. But a flashlight like this, the AA 2.0, really is such a great, easy to use, everyday carry flashlight. So if you're looking for something that I trust, and I actually have this version, I actually have this and the 3.0, which is a higher output, but this is just such a great everyday carry flashlight. Now, you get the 3.0, it's a higher output for sure, but at the same time, you burn the battery out faster. So it's a give and take. For me, if I'm looking for something that I'm going to be wearing or having in my pocket for an extended period of time, let's say it's a couple of days, I'm not going to be able to change it out, I'm not bringing the 3.0, I'm bringing the 2.0 because it has a lower consumption rate than the 3.0. Lower lumens, granted, but 900 lumens and 650 lumens, not a huge difference when you put those two on the wall. And you take a look at that, I don't see a massive difference between a 650. I can tell you this, though. I can see a massive difference when this flashlight lasts longer than the 3.0. So those are some basic things to consider about these two versions, the 3.0 and the 2.0. I do like the 2.0. I have the 2.0. And to me, the 2.0 serves a very specific purpose, extended light use. And yeah, it's just all part of physics. Like the more energy that you expend through the element or through the emitter, the more battery juice you got to have, or a bigger battery, bigger storage. So what do you get with the flashlight? You end up getting a diffuser. You end up getting the flashlight. You have a clip that goes with it. It does not come with a battery. It is a tail switch flashlight. So these are the things that you get. You get an instruction manual. It's a great flashlight. There's a little illuminated ring around the outside portion of the bezel. That's kind of cool too. Once it's been used for a while, it stays illuminated for a few minutes. So I think that's kind of a nice touch. And this diffuser, once you use it and you illuminate it, it also stays illuminated. It has a phosphorescent material inside of it that glows green. So in the dark, you're not going to lose this, at least right away. So this is just a really good flashlight. I like the flashlight design. I love the specs on the flashlight. I do use this flashlight an awful lot. Now, one of the things about this flashlight versus the Lumintop Silver Fox, and this is something that's really, I think, you have to be aware of this, and that is the type of lens and the type of reflector that you have in here. The reflector and the lens are both going to contribute to a more wide dispersal of light versus a spot light where you have a more focused beam. And this is kind of in between. This is the everyday carry. You're going to have a well-defined spot. Here's some video of this flashlight in action. You're going to have a very well-defined spot in the middle, and you're going to have some spill on the outside. So yes, you're going to get illumination all the way across. The difference between this and the Fox, the Silver Fox, is that the Silver Fox has a much more widely, evenly distributed light. And for me, that's more of a close quarters type flashlight. It's not something I would use out in open parking lots or using outdoors. If you're using those situations, open parking lot around the outside of the house, that you're going to need something with a little more of a spot focused beam to it. So that's where I think a flashlight like the Lumintop Tool AA 2.0 comes into play. So this is a great all-around flashlight. If you have the compulsion to buy lots of flashlights, then maybe you get into the close quarter type flashlights, you get into kind of your outdoor flashlights, your camping flashlights, that kind of thing. And you have a flashlight for every situation, like you have, a pair of shoes for every situation. So, but this one does a little bit of everything, and it does it really well, and it's very low cost. This is a flashlight that costs less than $25 on Amazon, and it does a great job. So let's talk a little bit about the specs. It has IP68 waterproof rating, which means it's 2 meters of water resistance submerged. It has a drop rating of 1.5 meters. It has 650 lumens at the top. It has the low, which is 16 lumens. It has the medium, which is 85 lumens. High is 360, and then your turbo is 650. Now the turbo lasts about 30 minutes. And when you run it on high, which is 360 lumens, you're going to get about an hour and a half or just like an hour and a quarter, somewhere in there. And I think these numbers have come out pretty evenly for me. I know that when I've run this on turbo, it doesn't last an unusually long period of time. But at the same time, with the 2.0 versus the 3.0, the turbo on here, the 650 lumens, is going to last longer than will the 900 lumens on the 3.0. And I'm going back to that. It's that give and take. Like, you want something brighter, it's going to get warmer, it's going to get hotter, and it has all of these different protections that are built into the flashlight. So that's something to keep in mind when it comes to the design of the flashlight. This one has overcurrent protection, it has reverse polarity protection, overheat protection, and then over voltage protection as well. So there's a lot of things built into the flashlight regardless of what battery you put in here. And by the way, the battery that you can put in here are alkaline batteries. You can put the 14500 lithium ion battery in here, the nickel metal hydride batteries. This is just, it's a great all-around flashlight. So if ever you run into a situation where a battery is dead, you can ask somebody nearby or a store or whatever to just charge it up with a different type of AA battery, and it will work. So very versatile flashlight when it comes down to that. Now, what I do like about this, it has a status indicator in the back, let you know that the battery is charged, and there are different light levels, and I forget what they actually are, but there's different light levels or different colors that let you know what the level of charge is on the battery. Tail switch use, and for me, and this is one of the things I think you got to keep in mind, is that when you get a flashlight that is a tail switch, how does it fit in your hand? And for me, this is almost too short, where there's just not enough of the flashlight that sticks out when I'm using the tail switch. So for me, click it on here and you can just half press, and when you half press, you go through the different modes. Okay, there's low, medium, high. Okay, all right. So it's the size for me is right on the edge of being a little bit too small for a tail switch, and that's something to keep in mind. I do like when the flashlights get smaller. Here's a Sofirn SC21. I do like the side switch on the smaller flashlights, because if I was to tail switch this one, it just doesn't work. It's way too deep in my hand, and it disappears in my hand. So something to keep in mind. And I have probably above average sized hands. I wear a large glove, kind of a wider glove if I can, but it just, it's one of those things that you just have to have the right length when it comes to a tail switch, something that's a little bit longer. So for me, the fit in the hand, I think it works. The tail switch does work. If you have a smaller hand, maybe it's going to work great. It really is. It'll be perfect. Now, as far as the diameter of the flashlight, this is a great pocket carry for sure. I pocket carry the Silver Fox, the Lumintop Silver Fox, and I have no issues with that, and it's about the same diameter, barrel size, everything. I love the texturing on the barrel. Great grippy texture on here, not too aggressive, and it's not too smooth, so I can get a good grip on this flashlight in a variety of different positions. Yeah, it's got a good, and I can even unscrew one-handed the head of the flashlight. So, and I think I can do that. Yeah, I can do that with the battery as well. Okay, you have lanyard hold on the back here, so if you want to put a lanyard on here, and it does come with a lanyard. I forgot to mention that it does come with a lanyard. Yeah, it's a great little setup for the flashlight. I think it's an awesome deal. I think for less than $25 or about $25, you're just not going to find a better flashlight that is better suited for everyday carry, everyday kind of situations. So put in the comments down below what you think of Lumintop. If you like the brand, if you like this kind of flashlight, the 2.0, the 3.0, the Silver Fox, these are all AA sized batteries that I just really, really like and can't recommend them enough. Keep in mind though, what kind of lens do you want in here? Reflector, all those things should go into play before you choose any of these flashlights. And I think you're going to have a great tool with you at all times. And yeah, there you go. My name's Tim. It's been another Real Ideal Gear Review. We'll catch you guys next time.